9 sophomores and 1 true freshman. And they all came out of the same class, redshirt sophomores tonight. Didn't think I'd ever be saying that. But they got the job done. And, it's been a struggle all year. It's been difficult. It's been very difficult. And just trying to get, improvement and trying to get the best lineup we can put on the mat each and every time. Today was a perfect example. Cody Chittum gets sick this morning, or we find out he's sick this morning at noon. And Faustick's supposed to wrestle at 1:49 in an exhibition match, and I call him up at 12:30 and say, "You're going." And ironically enough, the guy that he wrestled, was supposed to wrestle at the exhibition match at 6:15, was the guy they threw out there. There was a true freshman. I'm sure they used one of his five tries. Who's really a good, blue chip recruit. That's a true freshman. So that's a great win for Carter, and he's paid his dues here for a little bit now. So I was excited for that. But that's kind of what we've had to do all year, and so sometimes you got to get it done, and it was a good win.
What did you see in Carter's match? Obviously, he finds himself on his back early, but seems to just stick with it, wear him down a little bit, and then obviously at the end there gets the pin.
Well, I think I saw a guy at first that was scared to death. And then he kind of got his shit together and, kind of calmed down a little bit. And he can hit some stuff. He can wrestle. I mean, you don't win 4 state titles in Iowa if you don't have a few wrestling moves. So he's got a great, resume, but he's never been out there when it counts. And so to get that opportunity and to capitalize it. But, man, he was, that guy came out fast. He was ready to get bonus points, pin him, whatever you might want to call, and we got him a little bit tired, and Carter got his second wind, and that's what we saw.
What was it like recruiting him? I think he went to Crestwood, but grew up in Chester, Iowa, which has a population of, I looked up, 133 people. What was that recruitment process like for you?
Well, he wrestled with the club, the Seabolt Club, which we know a lot about, and, we just watched him wrestle and win as much as, when you win that much, there's something about you. And so he's been a great addition, and, he's been behind some really good guys, and there's not been a lot of light for him. We threw him out there a couple times before Christmas, and everybody he had was 5th or 8th ranked in the nation, so he took a couple beatings. But he showed up, and if you kind of watch him the last week, we've had a couple morning workouts, and I really watch him. I always evaluate guys and how important it is the sport of wrestling is to them when you're running them at 7 a.m. You find out who really wants to win and who doesn't want to win. And I haven't seen a lot of 7 a.m. workouts where Carter's just lighting the track up. But I saw the last couple times, I saw him like really, kind of trying. And sometimes when you're buried deep in the depth chart, it's easy not to run hard. So I think he saw that he might have some opportunities here.
You talk about being deep in the depth chart, and you alluded earlier, having that young of a lineup, this late in the season, what's that kind of like, with Big 12s and the championships on the horizon?
Well, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, we got to get it, when you're down to your 3s and 4s in places and 2s, I thought our effort was great, but to do well at this level, you got to have your number 1s ready to go, and so, we got a lot of them that aren't going to be ready to go, period. We're really close to getting, we'll have Bachman back out there next weekend and Kyson out there the following weekend, and those 2 guys can do a lot of damage for us. After that, we're kind of dead in the water. We're just going to have to go with what we got.
What can you say about Daniel and his match? Obviously,
I thought Daniel Herrera fought really hard. That's a hard guy to wrestle. He doesn't take a lot of leg attempts, but he controls the mat so well that it's hard to stay in the mat with him, and he's got a very unique style. And he's got such a low center of gravity that if you take a shot on you, he squashes you and runs around you and gets 3 points. And it's not a thing of beauty, but it's effective.
And what can you say about the senior class?
I keep trying to figure out if they're all seniors or if they're all going to come back next year. So it might be smoke and mirrors. I don't believe it because I know there's a couple guys that have eligibility left. So we might be doing this again in this crazy COVID world we have, and they hand out medical red shirts like Snickers bars anymore. So who knows what we got? But no, those guys are all of those guys that went out there are guys that contribute like crazy in the room. Some of the guys you probably never saw. I mean. Kate and Carlucci and Roboski. I mean, the time and effort they put in the room with those guys. Everybody knows Redding. Everybody knows Kyson. Who am I missing? But Who else? Oh, Bachman, yeah. I told Bachman he's got more work to do, so we're not even going to acknowledge him. But, so we've got some guys there, 3 guys that nobody's probably ever saw, but that contribute a lot, and then you got 3 guys that have helped our program a lot.
You had mentioned after Daniel's matchup against Wyatt Hendrickson and Oklahoma something about 2x4s and switchblades and a boy versus a man. How did you see Daniel improve tonight?
I thought he fought hard. Like I said, I think he fought hard, and that guy doesn't have as many tools as Hendrickson, but he's definitely a unique style to beat, and he wins a lot of close matches, and he doesn't lose many. He's ranked 5th in the nation. Heavyweight's pretty deep this year, so he's been around for a long time.
Ringes went out there and got 21 points, 6 takedowns. How important was it for him to get a match like that where he just gets rolling?
Yep, he needs to. Good observation. He needs to get that tech. I'm greedy. That's my message. The rest of the years we got to be greedy. He needed to get that tech, and Pinero needed to get that bonus point situation. When you hold yourself to that standard and you can pull the trigger when you're tired, you start separating yourself from the masses, and we got to do that. So they're right there. I thought, for Pinero, the old Pinero would be happy with a 3-2 win. So I think we're getting a new and improved Pinero where, we were knocking on the door of a bonus point win, and Riggins was knocking on the door of a tech. And when you get those opportunities, you really need to be greedy.
250 career dual wins. How's it feel?
Well, for this year, I guess they haven't come as easy, but it's a sign of you're probably getting old. But I've been fortunate. I've had 2 great institutions, Virginia Tech, and then when Iowa State came calling. It's a chance to have a shot at a job that's one of the best jobs in wrestling. I've had 3 ADs that have all been supportive, and even at Virginia Tech when we first started out, wrestling wasn't that important. And we had an AD. He's passed away, Jim Weaver, that gave me a chance when I was a high school coach. And a lot of people said he was crazy as crap to do that, and he gave me a chance. And then Jamie Pollard gave me a chance here. So, you got to have the right guy at the top to give you a chance to win that many matches. All right, gang. Thanks.
Thank you.